Hello. Didn't realise that I was in the. That's supposed to be on that, not actually on my camera. But never mind. How are we doing today? The who's in here? Let's have a look. We have. Oh, hey, Azai? Is that how you say that? Az? Can I just shorten it to Az? It's easier. So, what we have on the table today is Magnus, which I'm sure you've already seen. Just doing a little bit more work. Sorry about the camera quality. I keep explaining this. I ordered a decent camera at the beginning of the month, and it claimed to be a European seller. Turns out it's coming from Hong Kong, and it's not going to be here till the end of the month. So we got a bit of a wait. But yeah, anyway, what we are working on today, I think I'm probably going to bring the skin up another shade, up to more of an orangey tone. Have a pop at the eyes, make them nice and green. No, I thought I was going to do green, and then I decided on a purple. So we're going to go purple on the eyes. Fill in the little bit of the base down here, which has a dreadnought arm. And since it's Thousand Suns, I guess that has to be a Space Wolf dreadnought arm, because, you know, lore and stuff. And we're also going to talk about some sub giveaways. So at the moment I'm hovering around 4 subscribers, so, you know, more than I expected, but I think we can do better. So I think when I hit 25, 50 and 100 subs, we're going to be doing some giveaways. The first one, what did I say? Oh, hey Stars, thanks for the host. How you doing? I really appreciate the host. Every little helps. I was just saying, we are doing some sub giveaways. Thanks for the follow, Night Wanderer. I thought you were already following, but appreciate it anyway. So yeah, we're doing some sub giveaways when I hit 25, 50 and 100 subs. What did I say I was going to give out? So we have, where's the list? The 25 is an old metal Games Workshop Eldar Warlock, which obviously I'll be painting for whoever gets that. For 50, we've got this awesome Avatars of War ogre model. I'm going to link it because it's really, really nice. Let's see if I can find it. It's the Ogre Khan. There we go. Ah, maybe it's out of production, which makes it even more of a nice giveaway. Oh no, there it is. So this is the link to the Avatars of War Ogre Khan. So that will be the 50 subs giveaway, and then the 100 is a Games Workshop model again. It's the Seraphon Carnosaur, which, if anyone knows that model, is an absolute beast. But yeah, Staz, thanks for the host and the lurk, really appreciate that. I know you're busy tonight. Is it movie night tonight? Yeah, Carnosaur is so good, right? But yeah, so yeah, those are sub goals for now. We'll see how things go. Anyway, let's go and do some actual painting, shall we? My wet palette is no longer a wet palette. For some reason, all of the paints seem to have dried out, which is absolutely fantastic. That's just what you want. Just playing some GTA. I've never actually bothered with that. I've had GTA for ages. I've never played online. Not through lack of trying, but for some reason it kept bugging out on the tutorial. You know, there's that initial intro thing that you have to do in order to get into the online bit. It just wouldn't let me past that. So let's mix up some orange. For those in the know, you may have spotted, see if it's easier to see them here, I'm using airbrush paints, so Vallejo Model Air. And that is because they just come out of the bottle basically pre-thinned. You don't need to worry about it. But I'm using them for glazing, so I'm going to thin them down even further. Although this is still a little bit too red, so let's go back for some more yellow. Last GTA you played was 3. That was some time ago, my dude. You're living in the past. Although I suppose if it's not really your thing, then there's no reason to keep up. GTA is the kind of thing I can take or leave. It's not my favourite, but it's not something that I actively dislike either. I think I only played 5 because I got it for free on the Epic Store. Anyway, so let's do some painting. It's a little bit heavy. Best place to live? What, in the past? But if you live in the past, then you don't get to play with all the cool new stuff that comes out. Technology is amazing. The camera position's not great. Let's move that up a little bit. Fortunately, using a phone, which is all I've got at the moment, is not the best choice. Blend a little bit because I'm not too keen on it. Okay. Some peaks there. I'm literally just trying to get right on the very peaks of all of the highlights. So, aside from Stars playing GTA, what's everyone else doing this evening? If you say spending your entire evening listening to me waffle, then what the hell is wrong with you? No, I'm kidding, obviously. I really appreciate the company. That's all I'm here for at the end of the day, is just good company, people to talk to. While I do my thing. Got some dinner finished receiving. What? You're gonna need to expound on that, because that sounds really bad. Oh, hang on, receiving and setting up. Right, I get you. Fine. Finish receiving, finally setting up the new PC rig. Nice. What is it you've got, spec-wise? Let's bring that bit up there. Just a touch on the knee. A little bit on them traps. He's a chunky boy. I absolutely love this model. It's detailed, but not to the point where you're pulling your hair out trying to get everything. But just enough to make it look sweet. Bring the shoulders up a touch. A little bit on the bicep. Ryzen 5 6 core 3.8 gig GeForce 1660. Nice. I'm currently running pretty high spec rig from a few generations ago, so I'm running a 1080 Ti and a Ryzen 2700 at the moment. Thinking about upgrading the CPU, but I've got really no need to, because it's doing me well. I always live a few generations behind in PC tech because I wait until the new stuff comes out and snag up the bargains. Given that the graphics card I got, I think, was about £1,000 when it first came out, and I paid 200 because that was about the limit of my budget, and still is. I had to get a second screen and a webcam. Was it just a cheap webcam, or did you get something decent? Touch heavy on that. Just thin it down a touch more. Nulexi C900. That sounds like a rip-off of the one that I'm getting. Because I'm getting a C920 from Logitech, which is really sweet. Yeah, that's a clone of the C920 that I'm getting. Let me know if it's any good, because for that price I could do with a second camera. I can't imagine it's going to be, you know, top notch, but if it's relatively decent, then I might replace my face cam with it. We'll see how we go. Let's orange up his butt a little bit. You got them glutes. Obviously been squatting on Prospero. Don't talk yourself down, I'm sure you're beautiful. I mean, let's be fair, I'm hardly a piece of artwork myself, unless you count as a Picasso. Nobody's shut me down yet. Yeah, that tail definitely needs a few more layers. A munch? Chance to see the Blood Rage minis from Cool Mini or not? No, I haven't. Let's have a look. Blood Rage. Ooh, nice. They're all sort of grim, darky D&D style. Getting some weird elementals. Does that sound like I'm looking at the right thing? Hey Fluff, how you doing? I'm going to pop those up on screen and make sure I'm looking at the right ones. that what I meant to be looking at? Yeah, they are nice. I could use some of those for D&D actually. Some elementals. Signed by a guy whose name you forget. According to this, it's... Oh no, that's the guy that painted them. I don't know. Hey Clinton, thanks for coming in. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, let's get rid of that and get back to painting. So, just trying to bring up some of the highlights on this guy. For the benefit of those that have just come in, I am doing giveaways for sub goals. When I hit 25 subs, I will be giving away a Games Workshop Eldar Warlock, one of the old 90s ones, obviously painted up by me to a reasonable standard. When I hit 50, there will be a not Kings of War, Avatars of War, Ogre Khan. And then finally for the 100 sub goal, it will be a Seraphon Carnosaur, which you can see on my Instagram if you care to look. It's not complete, it's all in bits because I plan to magnetize it, but yeah, hopefully that will be not too far off, and I'll paint that up on stream for whomever is lucky enough to win it. Yep, hype, 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 all the things. The Carnosaur is a beast of a model, so the person who gets that is very, very lucky. Right, I think that's enough on the highlights. Don't want to go up too orange. So what I will do now is put a base layer on that rock at the bottom, and we'll start on that. Let's get some black. Any news on the camera? Yes, so it turns out that the company I purchased it from, despite claiming to be in the EU, shipped from Hong Kong. So I'm waiting on China Post. Yeah, I am very, very unhappy. The problem is, I could just cancel it and refund it, but they won't refund me until I receive it and send it back, which leaves me in a worse position. I'm slightly concerned that it's either not going to show up at all, or it will show up and be a fake, in which case I'm going to be fuming. So we'll see what happens. Absolute worst case scenario, it shows up and it's not the right one, and I will go to a more reputable store. Yeah, I didn't bother checking that. I just checked the reviews and it said, you know, everything was good, and the seller claimed to be from the EU, but then yeah, you're right, I checked the ships from later on. And Amazon didn't seem to care that they're blatantly lying on their profile, so there's no recourse there. But we'll see. Serves me right for giving Amazon the time of day, to be honest. I try not to buy from them normally. I'm not a big fan of the Bezos. Oh yeah, I was really careful about that. They were definitely reviews for the product I was looking at. But yeah, I'm still 50-50 on whether it's actually going to turn up or not. Yeah. slightly pissed off about that. I'm more pissed off by the fact that Amazon let it happen. You know, if they were doing it and gaming the system, then that's one thing, but it's not encouraged by Amazon, but the fact that they just let it slide and don't punish people for it says a lot about their business. Gotta be very careful here because I don't want to paint over the talon. I'm just gonna move my camera a second because I've realised you're looking at the top of my head instead of my face. So even when I'm looking down now, you should be able to see my beautiful visage. That is the one benefit of having a camera on a tripod in front of me. I can shift it around as and when I need to. Which on my first stream I absolutely couldn't do because it had to be attached to something. It's really difficult to get to. Dude is ripped and shredded. Well, he is supposed to be, you know, the demon-possessed god of a bunch of superhumans, so it does make sense. When your minions are 2 steps above normal human beings, you've got to be something impressive. Although technically a lot of them are just spirits in jars right now. Because somebody decided to try and do a spell and it ended up turning them into piles of dust inside their armor, trapped there for eternity. Which would, you know, really put a cramp in your style. Buddha is a god, but then I don't think anybody follows Buddha for his battle prowess. I'm pretty sure I could take Buddha in a fight, unless he convinced me halfway through that I should be a pacifist and stop hitting him. Ah, hey Nick. Didn't see you come in there. There are warrior Buddhists, yeah. But I don't think there is a warrior Buddha. But then I know nothing about that religion, so take that with an entire bucket of salt. Oh yeah, I forgot you're on the other side of the planet. Well, I hope I can keep you entertained at work a little bit. Sorry, just topping up my palette there. How's everyone's days been? I'm not gonna lie, today has been a struggle. Getting back to work after a week off is not fun. It took me long enough just to get my brain in the right headspace. Emma is streaming now. We are in competition technically. But yeah, most of her viewers are in an entirely different oeuvre than mine. So, although it's technically not competing, I do feel a little bit guilty sometimes. Mind you, I was doing this first. She stole my thing. feel free to wander off and say hi to her if you feel up to it or interested. To anyone who doesn't know who we're talking about, my lovely wife is a streamer also. She does digital art, usually of the fantasy base type, so things like elves and demons and tieflings and all that kind of stuff. And her username is Kiriel, so you go to twitch.tv/Kiriel, that's Kirriel. I'm sure she'd be glad of the company as well. If you don't feel like going over there right now and you'd rather stay with me, that is fine by me as well. Please drop her a follow. Follows are free, so we'd appreciate that very much. Work sucked today big time. Have they got you doing donkey work again? Donkey work is, how do you phrase this? Like nonsense work, menial labor. Yeah, menial labor is a good way of putting it. Just all the stuff that nobody else wants to do. It's the sort of stuff you give to the intern. Doing more harm than good at this point, so I'm going to move on to something else while that dries. Bug fixing for 2 weeks because they haven't. Ouch. That's harsh. I suppose at least they've got work for you to do, even if it is bug fixing. I've had a number of jobs where they've literally had nothing, and I've been sat there, you know, getting paid for doing nothing is fine, but it's boring as sin. At least you're adding value in some way, shape or form. Well, yeah. For anyone that doesn't know us personally, Fluff and Crunch is not only an awesome dice maker, go and find her on Etsy, she is also one of my D&D players and is writing some fantastic stuff about her character, and a whole bunch of other RPG stuff, because she's brilliant. I have the best friends. Got to be careful here because I do not want to get black on these wings. If I bugger up that transition, I'm gonna be so upset. Let's flip it around. Well, you don't make dice yet. You are beginning to make dice, but you also sell and, what's the word, modify dice. I like that that's the bit you called out on as a lie, so the rest of the stuff was absolutely fine. You do create flavor packs. themes is probably a good word for it. By the way, I'm still waiting for those gorgeous gem dice to come in. I'm not going to let you forget about that. But that's what it's all about, is bigging up all of our fellow creatives. On that note, if anyone is in stream who wants to share some works in progress or anything like that, feel free to hop along to my Discord, which is linked in the profile, and you will be more than welcome to show it there, and I will pop it up on stream and have a look. Also more than willing to give advice to any new painters out there. I'm not an expert myself, but I think I'm at a reasonable standard. I know a few things and happy to share. I like to consider myself a little bit of a teacher. And likewise, I know there are people out there that are 10 times better than I am, and I'm quite happy to take advice and criticism from them as well. Because if you don't, how do you get better? We're all standing on the shoulders of giants, as they say. I will be buying myself some new brushes soon, because this poor thing has been through an awful lot in the past few months. I think she needs a bit of a break and some friends. And I may be breaking my own rules, and instead of sticking with the Winsor Newton 7 series that I normally paint with, these ones, I'm looking at getting some Artist Opus brushes. I've heard good things about them. I have a habit of sticking with what I know, so for me to branch out is a big deal. This is the least exciting part of the painting process, but probably one of the most important ones. So what I'm doing is going through undercoating, or base coating rather, all of the parts that will be metallics. And metallics will look absolutely abysmal unless you give them a decent undercoat to start with. Love to do non-metallic metals, but I'm just not at that level yet. Just turn that around. Hello! How you doing, Alex? Thanks for popping by. Where have you come in from and how are you doing today? to anything exciting. I scared him off already. So at risk of frustrating people by repeating myself, we do have some sub goals going at the moment. 25, 50 and 100. We'll be giving away some painted minis. 25 is an Eldar Warlock from Games Workshop. 50 is an Avatars of War Ogre Khan, and 100 subs will be a Games Workshop Seraphon Carnosaur. Just finishing up an assignment. Your job application came back this morning and you got the job. Awesome, dude, well done. What job is it? What will you be doing? That is always good to hear, especially in this current climate. I always find it slightly odd that we're all complaining about work, but then someone comes in and says they've got a job and we're celebrating that. Which is obviously good news. Middle class nightmare known as Waitrose. Waitrose isn't that bad. There are worse places to work. I'd rather work at a Waitrose than a Tesco. Thanks for the follow, man. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the fam. Or rather, should I say, welcome to the cuddle puddle. That's what I've taken to calling our little group. But I know it makes some people uncomfortable, and I don't care. Are you a hobbyist yourself, Alex? Do you do painting or anything else like that? Everyone loves a good cuddle. But for some reason, when you combine the word cuddle with the word puddle, people get upset. No, it's not. Behave yourself. You do programming. I do programming. That's my the way I make a living normally. When I'm not doing other things. That's how I fund my streaming habit. What sort of thing are you working on? I suppose you just work on whatever the assignment is at the time. If I remember rightly from my days as an IT student, it'll be in some awful language like COBOL or assembler or some nonsense like that. We are not nerds, we are the future. Without us, this planet wouldn't run. Everything is software nowadays. We hold the keys. I think that's half the reason that people make fun of coders in particular. You know, branding them nerds and geeks and whatever other epithets they want to use, because they're scared. They know that we run the world. If we ever decided just to down tools and tell them to go away, they'd be screwed. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Well, yeah, it used to be. I think it just comes from my years of verbal abuse as a child, because back then it was absolutely an insult. But it's becoming more, you know, mainstream and accepted now. Gearing up for a game in that project, learn C# but as usual is completely useless. Well, if you have any questions, I happen to be a C# developer. So, I could answer some programming questions, I guess. You come to the right place, evidently. Right, I think that'll do. I remember when I was in college, the tutor was frustrating. You can watch painting, you can watch me fly spaceships, you can get coding advice, all sorts of stuff. You can even hear me talk nonsense. Oh no, you've got one of those people. Oh, this is my baby, so it's obviously the best thing in the world, and you'll never ever see it out in the wild, but you're going to use it anyway. Ugh. Unity is a thing, my man. Unreal Engine is a thing. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. And if you're really that down on proprietary stuff, then Godot is also a thing. I think it's called Godot, open source game engine. It's looking really nice actually from what I saw. Yeah, that does sound absolutely terrible. Yes, as in waiting for Godot. It's proper. Oh, that sounds awful. The last thing you want when you're developing games is to have to hook up to something online. You want to do all of that on your local system. You want to be decoupled as possible. Keep your source control online, and that's about it. Even that, if you can keep it locally, is a touch better. Use Visual Studio, you stick with what the thing is, they're setting you up for a fall because you don't learn how things are done in the outside world. Because all of the other tooling and UIs and stuff are standardized across the industry. So you're going to leave your class, you're going to be stuck in front of tools that you've never seen before, and you're going to end up fighting with them for ages. So even though you know the language, you still end up having to learn the ecosystem around it. Yeah, sounds like a terrible place to be, dude. Sorry to hear that, but hey, at least you're getting an education of some description. Right. That will do. Let's rinse this brush. Come in with some silver. There it is. Can't remember whether I already asked you. Where did you come in from, Alex? How did you find me? I'm always curious how we get our visitors. Course leader is a different tutor. Oh, that helps, I suppose. If you have issues, you've got someone else you can go to, but it's still a position you don't want to be in. I was always quite lucky in college. I got on with most of my tutors. Apologies, just doing a little bit of parenting from a distance there. I do unfortunately have a 6-year-old, well I say unfortunately, I do have a 6-year-old who unfortunately doesn't like staying in bed. So I may disappear at points to go and deal with him. You found me in the share stream of Catherine. Okay, I like Catherine, she's chill. Once again, if you like the digital art, pop across and see my missus. Her name is Kiriel, Kirriel. I'm sure she'd be grateful of a visit. And for those of you that don't follow Catherine Jenkins, you can pop over to her. What's her channel? I don't recall. Yeah, it's just Catherine with a Y, Jenkins Art, all one word. So once again, follows are free. Go and pay her a visit if digital art is your thing. She is very good, just peaceful to listen to. One of those streamers that you can pop on in the background and just zone out for a little while. soothing. She does a lot of stuff with inks, like calligraphy style inks. It's very, very pretty. This is really, really obnoxious. Excuse me a second while I change that track. Let's see. In fact, let's listen to something a little bit more relaxing. There we go. She is the current leader of the procrastinator. Oh, I don't know. She's pretty good at procrastinating, but I think Nalindi is better. If you don't know Nalindi, she, along with our good friend Staz, who is, I think, still in the stream, Nalindi is a lovely miniature painter from Wales, but she is an absolute nightmare for procrastination. She'll just sit there on a stream for 4 hours and not actually get anything painted. Sorry, my camera has just detached itself from the charger. I will be back in 2 seconds. I just need to go and sort out my kid, and then we will crack on. Apologies for that. Oh, has the camera crashed? I think it has. See if I can bring it back. While I'm fiddling with this, what can we do? Let's have a look at in Discord, see if there's anything worth looking at in there. Nothing in the lounge. Looks like we're quiet. I'm going to carry on painting while I wait for this to sort itself out. Unfortunately, the charger fell out and now the battery has died, so it will take 10 seconds or so just to get a little bit more charge back up. In the meantime, I will just continue to talk nonsense at you. So, yeah, the plan with this is, once I've painted all these metals, wash them back down again, and then I'm going to go in with varying different shades. So it's going to be a base of silver, and then I think we'll go in with gold on the bird skulls that are sticking out of his leg. Although I'm not sure, I might do the skulls bronze and the beaks gold. What do you guys think? Let's get a vote in chat. Bronze heads or gold heads and bronze beaks? heads. Yeah, I just want to break it up a little bit and not just have all gold or all silver. Everyone's gone a bit quiet. So yeah, anyway, going back to the topic of cameras, what I want to do is, once I get my new camera set up, try and set myself up more of a hobby space, because this is basically my work desk at the moment, and that's not ideal. So I do have a space, but it's out in the conservatory, and it is bloody freezing in winter, and it costs too much to heat it. But I'm sure I can think of something, and once that happens, I can set up the camera from above instead of at the weird angle it's at now, and give us all a better view of what's happening with some better lighting, etc, etc. And also not have batteries die on me every 5 minutes, because this is really frustrating. I think we might be back. Camera. Right, so let's try reconnecting. There we go, we are back. Hopefully that's enough battery to keep it going, because if this goes off again, I'm gonna get annoyed. The pitfalls of being a newbie streamer. I do like this paint. It's one of the very few Games Workshop paints that I actually actively choose instead of just having lying around. I forget the name of it, but it's an air paint. It's the brightest silver they have, but it works really nicely just on a brush as well. Speaking of which, let's get a bit more out of the pot. Stand up. Great success. For glory of great state of Kazakhstan. Here we go. It's starting to come together. Every little bit that I add on just makes it look that little bit more complete. But then every now and then I just spot something that makes me go, no, I missed that. But we'll get there eventually. I'm thinking next stream I'll give this one a rest and move on to something else, and I believe there's a theme going at the moment. Staz, if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Staz has an explosive theme going on at the moment with their paint along. So I might paint up an exploding squig. Got a nice one sat out on my desk waiting to be done. Seems appropriate. Oh, and if I haven't already said it, go over and follow Stasius. Sorry folks, I think we've lost the feed again. This is frustrating. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go and give it a boost on a fast charger. Sorry about this, it's not going to plan. But as I previously explained, I've been screwed on my camera, so I'm working with what I've got until that shows up. Does anyone have any plans for the rest of the week? Tell me. Talk to me, people. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I like talking to you guys, and I like you to talk back. It's fun. 3 sessions. 3 sessions? D&D? I'm assuming? Starfinder, cool. I've never played Starfinder. I imagine it's just Pathfinder in space, right? Killing you on Friday. Yeah, I've heard good things about your Friday game. Don't worry, nothing to be concerned about. Just people complimenting your world building, that's all. I've got too many games of D&D going on at the moment, but I'm addicted. So on Fridays we play 2 games. We tend to flip between them. One is an Elite Dangerous RPG, so that's a D10 based system, and that's all about flying around in space and basically being it's a bit like Firefly, I guess, the crew of a spaceship, and you just do whatever you want to make money and stay alive. And then on the other side of it, we play I want to say sort of historically based, but it's not massively. There's still magic and stuff in it, but it's a Vikings game, and it does happen in, you know, historically real scenarios. But yeah, it's got all gods and that kind of stuff in it. And then on Fridays we swap again between 2 games. We have a Saturdays. I mean, we have 2 games as well. So Saturdays are a D&D game based in Mazdaca. which is all kind of Aztec-y themed. That's the thing I was talking about on my last stream with the vampires. And then we swap that out on occasion with a game called Masks, which is basically juvenile superheroes. You're all teenagers who have just got your powers, and you're finding your place in the world. It's very Spider-Man-esque. And then obviously I run my game on Tuesday, which is a bit rubbish because I'm running it, but it seems to keep people entertained. Bear with me with the technical difficulties. Hopefully, if I leave it a little bit longer, I'll have enough battery power. Yeah, I'm sure you have. The only thing that's good about the Tuesday game is the players that play in it. Without them, it would be nothing. Right, let's see how this battery's doing. 6%, hopefully. That'll give us something. This is highly frustrating. Can't wait till I don't have to worry about this anymore. Wow, you've got a lot going on. The World of Darkness one, is that sort of one of the specific games, or is it just a World of Darkness where everything is mashed in together? Because I played some Vampire, Werewolf and Changeling, I want to say. Yeah. But there's been hardly any crossover. A werewolf, a geist, 2 mages and a hunter. How does that work? Nice. That just sounds like a headache to me. I couldn't manage that. Yeah, chaotic sounds like that sounds like a nice way of putting it. I find World of Darkness is chaotic even at the best of times when everyone is of the same species. Alright, let's try this one more time. There we go. Let's see if the batteries will stay alive. I do like a bit of World of Darkness. Last time I played it was a werewolf game, and I was essentially sort of Silicon Valley tech bro with loads and loads of money and absolutely no street nous or strength or combat ability. So obviously I went Ragabash. Just all mouth. But it did come in handy when I could phone my dad to send out the private jet. That was a fun game. We had an ex-military Silverfang Arun who delighted in beating the crap out of me every time I stepped out of line, which was quite often. Necromancer Psychiatrist. Nice. That sounds like Markavian. Although I'm guessing that was mage rather than vampire. Right. What should we do with this stone? I think if I start off with a dark blue on the whole thing, because then I can bring up the dreadnought arm on the back up to a Space Wolf blue. And then come up to a light grey on the stone. He has got power metal hair. He's got power metal hair, he's got the power metal pose with the claw. It's just everything screams like Rhapsody or something. Just make sure that charger is still in there firmly. Star in the post credits review video. Yep, absolutely. See, if it wasn't for Twitch, well, I don't want to blame Twitch because it's not their fault, but if it wasn't for the copyright rules, I'd be playing music like that right now. But unfortunately, there is no good royalty-free 80s hair metal. Do love a bit David Coverdale. Fluff on the brush. It's not limited, it's just it has to be copyright free. So there are a lot of artists out there that will give out music that doesn't have a copyright attached to it. But recently, I say recently, a few months back, Twitch went from getting something like 50 copyright complaints a year to getting thousands in a month. Somebody somewhere caught on to a revenue stream, I think, in the music industry and just killed it. So it used to be that you just get the post-stream videos muted and that was fine. Now you're getting full-on takedown notices and threats of legal action stuff. It's just not worth it. So Twitch have cracked down on it because they have to. So it's a matter of finding providers that give you royalty-free stuff, which is what we're listening to right now. There is a rock channel, but it's a bit hit and miss. I find some of it's actually really good, some of it is adequate, and some of it's just terrible. So yeah. One thing I did find out though is that for stuff like this, Trivium have made all of their albums royalty free, which is really nice of them. But they've only got so much of a back catalogue and you can't just listen to Trivium forever. And I've not found any other artists that have done the same. So at the moment I'm using a service called Pretzel Rocks, which is kind of like Spotify for royalty free stuff. You can choose a genre, but without actually knowing the artists, again, you don't know what you're getting. But it is really nice of people to put out their music for free for this purpose. You know, it's not an easy thing to make music. I just don't know how much of an argument there is to say that having it on in a stream is transformative for the purposes of copyright, but that's a question for a lawyer, not for me. And even then, you're fighting an uphill battle because it's on the, I guess the plaintiff, is that the right word? It's on the person who receives the complaint to justify their use of the music, rather than the person who makes the complaint to prove that it's a breach of copyright law, which is a bit backwards. You know, normally it's innocent until proven guilty, but with copyright it's the other way around. Yeah, it does give them exposure. That's why I make sure that I've always got the on my profile page, I've always got the most recently played tracks, and I did have, although it doesn't seem to be working, I had a ticker at the top that would say the name of the track as it came on. I'll need to fiddle with that later and figure out what's wrong with it, but it's not important right now. Headphones fail. Oh dear. That's not good. Surveillance drone by abstraction. Yeah, that's I got it popping up in chat, but I used to have it on the stream screen as well. But it doesn't seem to be happening right now. So you can see that little icon up in the top left. It should pop up next to that, but it's not happening at all. Seems like a reasonable base coat. Now let's get to washing these metals. So I know the vast majority of you watching are watching because you're my friends and not miniature painters, so I will explain what I'm doing. In these little pots here are things called washes, which are basically very, very watered down paints, and the whole point of them is to dirty up the metals, and they run into the gaps and nooks and crannies and just gives you a little bit of depth. Although I don't have the one that I want right now. Just gonna run out a second and grab it. I think it's in the back room. just realised I haven't been talking on stream. I've been talking to myself, and you guys have been left in silence. I do apologise for that. I am an idiot. Willkommen zurück. Du sprichst Deutsch? Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber nicht so gut. Et aussi je parle un peu français. None of the above. Je suis Baguette, je m'appelle Mademoiselle. Okay, fine. Je suis crème anglaise. Because that's what the French call custard. English cream. I always find that hilarious. Magnifique avec baguette sur les What? Omelette du fromage. Je m'appelle Forest Horse. The only Japanese I know is Watashi wa rikishi desu, which I believe means I am a sumo wrestler. I have picked up so many pointless bits of language over my life. I can count to 10 in Persian. I can swear in about 5 languages. Just completely, utterly useless stuff. Glass of water in Greek. That's one I don't know. I don't know any Greek. Yeah, I'm reasonably conversational in French. I can get by in German. Other than that, it's just bits and pieces here and there. I should have made more of an effort with German, because half of my family is from there. My grandmother came over during the war. And yeah, I just, because it was all around me, or, well, no, that's not true. My grandmother only spoke it when she was trying to teach it to me, and I wasn't that interested. But then later on in my life, as I started to pick up languages, it became more of a thing for me. But they only taught French at school, so I didn't have an option. So I learned French and I picked that up reasonably well. But not enough German. She's taking Greece on vacation when I was little. I was so interested. Fair enough. That's a typical parent trick, though. It's also the most likely thing to backfire. These blends are not good. bring them together. That's one thing washes are really good for, is making bad blends look good. I'll wait for those to dry off a touch and come back and wash them over. English in third and German in fifth. Other countries are so much better than us at teaching languages. We generally get one when you get to near the end of secondary school. I don't know, I learned reasonably well in school. I may have just been lucky and had a good teacher, or maybe I just had an aptitude for it, but yeah, I picked it up pretty well. Some Italian, yeah. I don't know any Italian. Right, let's go back in and bring that silver back out, and then I'll see if I can find my gold. Learning Spanish. The only Spanish I think I know is how to order a beer. Is that for any particular reason, or you just felt like learning Spanish? Language trading is really good. Such a good idea. Oh, that is obnoxious. Bear with me 2 seconds. I have to check something. There appears to be some weirdness going on with my wiring. Awesome, that's a really good idea. No, don't move to the UK, it's terrible here. Excuse me scrambling around under my desk, but I need to fix something. Did that work? That did not work. Why did that not work? This is doing my head in. hopefully that'll do the job. I feel like we should all just move out. Just leave the country en masse. Let the gammons have it. Oh, straying dangerously close to politics there. Das ist verboten. It's an island for sale off the coast of Scotland. Nice. Have you got a few million lying around to buy an island? Say a few million, I have no idea how much a private island costs. Probably something ludicrous. What you're doing there is essentially reinventing timeshare. It's timeshare for the Kickstarter generation. Thing is, it would probably work, given people's financial issues at the moment. If you just said, you know, you can pay X amount of money and own time on this island, I imagine people would go for it. Although probably not off the coast of Scotland. It'd be a bit unpleasant. And then you've got to worry about amenities like, you know, running water and Wi-Fi and stuff. If it was maybe in the Caribbean or something, you'd get more takers. But I can't imagine something off Orkney or whatever would do well. Oh, they already had that stuff. Cool. It's not really an ideal holiday destination though, is it? It's the opposite of what you normally get, because normally you say it's a nice place to live, but a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. Whereas this would be, I'd like to live there, but I wouldn't want to visit for a holiday, because once you've been, there's not much really to do, unless you're a hardcore introvert. It would be absolutely perfect for me, but then I'm not most people. Mind you, saying that, like you said, it would be somewhere ideal for people like D&D groups. It's scenic and ambient. It could actually work. Depending on the size of it, you wouldn't have to auction off the whole island either. You could just say you get this half of the island, because you don't need that much space. And if you come across one other set of people, that's not the end of the world. That is looking nice. I'm well happy with that. Let me know if my camera's on the wonk or anything, because I have a habit of going off and doing things out of shot. Do I dare try and do the eye? Because that is where everything could go horribly, horribly wrong. Do I do that on stream, or do I try and do that separately? Nah, let's give it a crack. If I screw this up now, you will get to see me fall into a pit of despair. Something I don't often say when I'm painting. Right. Here we go. Oh, this is going to be horrible. One. Sorry. Go. Don't know if you can see that, but he now has eyes. White ones, at least. I'm shaking. Just sharpen up that tip. There we go. Much more like it. Just gives it a bit more character. He's a very angry man. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to come in with some pink ink just to bring out the, what's the word? Is it sclera? I think it's called sclera, the pink bits around your eye. That could have gone horribly wrong. So yeah, I'll give that some time to dry. What I will do is go and wash the blues. And then I'm going to go and fetch his wings so you can see him in his full glory. Where's that blue? There. Let's bring that over this side. No! Spillage! Luckily I have kitchen roll to hand. That is not what I plan to do. Puddle of paint indeed. Puddle of blue. Only a minor spillage, and thankfully I've got a table covering on, so it doesn't really matter. Just means I've lost a fair amount of my wash, and I don't think they make this stuff anymore, so that's a bit annoying. It looks like he's presenting. You like that side ass? You shouldn't. That's my side ass. I don't know, I've seen some side ass in my time. Particularly swimming costumes. To go back over and bring that back up to the blue highlight, but that's looking a lot better now. There's a reason they call wash magic in a bottle. Yeah, although even with that, you get some that have got those. Who was it last year? Someone was in the papers because they had a dress that was basically split all the way up to their waist, and they had a little bit of an accident. Yeah, that was some poor phrasing. They exposed things they shouldn't have. Leave it at that. I can't remember who it was now. I'm not really into celebrity gossip and that sort of stuff, so I tend to forget. Oh, we have a raid. Hey wifey, thanks for raiding. Welcome to those of you that have just come in. I am Custard and Kiriel is my wife. Please say hi in chat, and if you are on a browser, I think you need to click through to my actual channel. Oh, is it just... It said you had 2 people. Although I guess it includes you. But yeah, if you're on a browser, you need to click my actual link. So really need to get a macro set up for this. There we go. So yeah, if you don't click that, it doesn't count you as a viewer. So I'd appreciate it if you did. I think on the app it does it automatically, so if you're on the app, don't worry about it. Anyway, what am I doing? Bronze. I need to mix up my own bronze because I don't have one. So we did say bronze for the skulls, didn't we? I think that was the one vote we got. So we've been having some technical difficulties this evening, unfortunately, because I'm still yet to get my camera. I'm using my phone and the battery kept dying, but I think I've solved that issue, so hopefully we won't have any more. Got some real progress going on this evening. It's starting to really come together. That's a nice colour. I am really happy with how that mix has come out. It's a little bit coppery. So you guys just missed the most nerve-wracking part of the stream, because I've been painting this guy for weeks and I finally got round to filling in his eyeballs. And if I screwed that up, I may have had a meltdown and just rage quit. But thankfully it went well. Now I'm just going around and doing all the metallics. What's balls? Why are you screaming balls at me? Well, you like balls. Oh, eyeballs, yes. Oh, and you missed some fabulous side ass as well. Not mine, thankfully. He is as anatomically correct as a Ken, so you're not seeing much. Well, there's a bit of a bulge there. Wifey's trying to sneak past.
Yeah, sneaking. It's not exactly sneaking.
Well, no, not exactly sneaking.
Past giggling. Oh my God, it's hot out.
There we go. I think she was just trying to hijack the stream without me noticing. Once again, if there's anyone in chat who isn't already following her, please go across and give her a follow. They cost you nothing, and every little helps. And if there is anyone in stream who is also a streamer, let me know, because I will come over and take a look at what you got. You know, drop you follows, watch you when you're around, maybe even give you a host, stick you on the auto host list. It's slowly growing, and I do have standards for being there. but not that fussy. As long as you are interesting. The people that are nice to me get higher priorities. That's why Staz is at the top. And once again, since I haven't mentioned it for a while, I am doing sub giveaways, so at the moment my sub count is relatively low, but if I get up to 25, I will be doing a giveaway of a commission painted LO Warlock in whatever color scheme you choose. If I get up to 50, you will get an already painted Avatars of War Ogre, Ogre Khan, and if I get up to 100, you will be in the running for a Seraphon Carnosaur, which I have already started painting, but I'm quite happy to change the scheme if you so wish. And the Carnosaur, even if you're not a collector, is just a beautiful model. So that's all of them. Since I like this colour so much, I'm going to pop it in some other places, just to give the existing metals a bit of variation. Just a little tickle. Perfect. Right, I wonder if those eyes are dry yet. Does this count as crossing the streams? I guess technically it does. So if anyone asks me if I'm a god, I say yes. Speaking of gods, I promised you a shot of the big man with his wings, so I'll be back in a second. So these are still a work in progress, but there's a decent bit of shading going on them. The insides are still completely black, they need work. But this is what he will look like in his final form. If I can assemble him correctly. There we go. Oh, this is very difficult to hold him together. Let's zoom that out. And there's the man himself. His wings are like twice the size of his body, but it's pretty impressive. So yeah, the wings are going to need a lot more work to be up to the standard that he is. But they're getting there. I'm particularly fond of the colours on there. So yeah, he's a beast on his own without the wings, but with the wings, it just takes him up to a new level. Doing research for one of the X-Men RPGs. Anatomically seen wings need to be effing hugely. Yes, that is actually true. Because we are skeletally chunky beasts. Because birds have hollow bones, if I remember rightly, so they don't need as much lift. Birds and Icarus. Right. Now I need to mix myself up a gold and angel, of course. Oh, the old Demon Prince is an absolute nightmare to put together, and this guy is about... I'd say the old Demon Prince comes up to about there on him, maybe a little bit higher, so this is even bigger. But it is all plastic rather than metal. I actually have one of the old metal Demon Princes, but it was a named model. I think they still make him actually. He's Bellicor. It's quite a nice kit. Bigger is better for painting in terms of, yeah, getting the details. However, it does tend to show up inadequacies more. A poorly painted big model looks worse than a poorly painted little model. That is too yellow. I need to add a touch of ochre to that. That's not ochre, but it's close enough. In fact, where is my ochre? Riptide's taking ages. Yeah. Riptide is a beast of a model as well. I think it's even bigger than this one. And it's all flat panels, which makes it even worse because you've got no texture to hide your snafus. There we go. That's a nice gold. Let's go over the beaks. So this may need a couple of coats. We shall see. But saying that, a really well painted Riptide is a sight to behold. 3 pots of white on it. Really? Wow. Dude, you should have just brought it here and I would have airbrushed it for you. I never did find the airbrush I was going to give you. It's vanished off into the ether. I suspect this is going to be too yellow to show up properly as a metallic. I have to give it another coat. Just catch that little bit there. Right. 2 on the rest of the army. Wow. That's ridiculous, dude. Yeah, feel free to drop it off. It will take me half an hour to cover the thing with a decent coat. Right, what's next? Actually, coming to the point where I might be considering this almost done. I need to do the rock on his foot. So I need a couple of greys. That's not a grey, that's an olive. Okay, I appear to be missing one of my greys. She's back again, we're crossing the streams. You!
What?
We're crossing the streams, because you're alright. Never mind.
You're being weird.
Somebody didn't get the joke.
No, I got it. It's a Ghostbusters reference. It just wasn't funny.
Well, blame them, not me. I didn't make it. I was just passing it on. You're shooting the messenger. Apparently, she thinks your joke wasn't funny, and you should punish her for it.
He's got big feet.
He's got big everything. He's a big chunky boy. And I'm painting off camera again, aren't I? Tu es désolé? Pourquoi? You don't need to apologize. I thought it was funny. Let's lighten that up again. camera in front of you. Ideally, I would have dry brushed this. No, I think we might be okay actually. How did I get the blue on his hand, arm, wing thing to look like it glows? Combination of airbrush and washes. So I hit it with a dark blue, and then gradually built up the blues through to a very, very pale blue, and then a white ink on top, and then washed it back down with the blues just to take the edge off. It's about 5 or 6 layers of blue. Oh, and then there's a purple wash on the eye. I don't know if you can see that. Just to give it some variation. I've just realised I'm blocking my own light. Let's see if I can move over from this angle. That's a bit better. Yeah, much better. It's harder to do without an airbrush, but it is entirely possible. It's all about basically working up to the white. So you would, depends on what color you want to do really, but for example, an orange is quite popular. You'd start off with a red and then keep glazing over layers of orange, and by glazing I mean using really, really thin down paints, so much that you can hardly see it. Like, you would never be able to tell on his body. I've put on 4 or 5 layers of orange glaze just to bring the red out to make it pop, but it's so thin you barely notice it, and that's how you want to do the glows. So you bring out the layers of orange up to a yellow even, and then to the white on top, and the white you don't want to glaze, you want to layer so that it's a normal thickness. You're just painting the white on the very, very highest points. And obviously you want to make it overspill slightly, so you want that orange to go around the area that's glowing as well as just on it. But yeah, that works with any colour. You don't need to worry about paint, dude. If you want to bring it over, then feel free, and you can use all of my stuff. I'm more than happy to let you do that. Alright, so I'm just going to go into some edge highlights on that stone. Just to make it pop. I'm saying that a lot at the moment. Pop, 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 pop. It's a fun word. So what I'm aiming for here is right on the edges of any cracks and crevices, all around the sides. Just very gently, and then I will, it's quite thick, but that's fine because I will come back with a darker colour and bring it back down again. So always bring it up to 11, wash it back down to 10. Those are the words of wisdom from Mr. Kenny Boucher over at Next Level Painting, who I highly recommend you check out if you want some painting tips. He is an airbrush master. to everyone's taste because he has a style that can be a little bit grating sometimes, but you can't fault his skills at all. There we go. Oh, did you just ban a bot for me? Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Right. So this is a nice black wash, just to bring those highlights down a step, blend them in a bit better. You can barely see it, and all it will do is just tone down that grey. It's nice and thin. Perfect. I am very happy with this evening's progress. What else did I want to do? Oh, wash down that bronze. So I have a lovely sepia tone here. There. If I put that over the bronze, it'll really make it. I'm going to say pop again, aren't I? It's going to really make it pop.
It didn't pop up.
Oh, thank you, darling. My dinner has arrived. Yes, before you say it, I know it's very late for dinner, but this is how we do. You know, I think the sepia may be a little bit pale. I might have to go for something a bit darker. Few months of painting. Yeah, I don't know why it's taking you so much paint to cover. I mean, I know it's a big model, but yeah, that sounds a little bit excessive to me. Mind you, I've never painted one, so I don't know. Dinner delivery, yes. Welcome back, Trout. How are you getting on with your kill team, was it? To be fair, we kind of share dinner duties, so quite often you'll see me show up on Kiriel's stream with a plate of food. Depends who's doing what and when. I knew I'd missed something. There are some pieces of iconography on the outside of the leg panels. Deciding on the loadout. I've never actually played kill teams, so I have no idea what sort of thing you I guess it's all sort of 40k standard. What's her stream? Kiriel, Kirriel. She does digital drawings. usually in a sort of D&D fantasy sort of oeuvre. Thank you, very much appreciated. What kill team is it you're running? And when you say kill team, I assume you mean actual like miniatures kill team, not the video game. Let me know if I've made a mistake on that. Sisters and Deathwatch, nice. I do like the sisters models, they are sweet, but I've just got so much on at the moment I can't justify buying yet another army. Because I've got the guys to go with this big fella, and I've also got a massive green tide that I started painting on my charity stream, which was the very first stream that I did on this channel, and I barely got halfway through it because there are just so many of them. I reckon if I did them all I'd have about 5,000 points worth of orcs, and that may not even be an underestimate. There may not even be an overestimate, rather. Maybe an underestimate. Obviously I don't have to paint them all, but I'd like to get through the majority. And I'm making such good progress on this guy. I think definitely next stream I'm gonna do something for the Stasius and Tech Bots paint along theme, which is explosions. So we're gonna do a bomb squig. So they are beautiful. It's away for years and bought in finally. Yeah, mine was kind of a mistake. Not a mistake, but a happy accident. I was home one day, just quietly enjoying my day, when I got a phone call from the missus saying the local charity shop had some of the Games Workshop carry cases in. And I said, you know, those are pretty pricey, how much are they asking for? And she said 15 quid. I was like, fine, cool, grab them. So she picked them up, brought them home, and it turns out they were full of minis, and I didn't know. Literally chock full of orcs. So I was well happy with that. So I accidentally bought myself a green tide, which was convenient at the time because I was doing an orc army anyway. We've had a couple of lucky finds from charity shops. I also got the original, what's it called, Hero Quest, with an expansion pack, completely untouched, for £2.75. Yeah, it's amazing, right? I was so lucky. Right, so that's those done. Right, let's do these eyes. Where is my ink? So the plan with these eyes is I've done them white, but I want to outline the fleshy parts. So I'm going to run a bit of thin down ink into the recesses and see what that looks like. So this could go horribly wrong. I've never experimented with this before. There we go. That seems a little bit heavy. Let's take some off. Go in delicately. That's still too much. some of that away. There we go. On the other side. That's not too bad. It's not quite gone to plan, but looks alright. There we go. Sweet. And yeah, you should have kept the case. Hey Terry, thanks for popping by. I'm just going to take a quick break to shovel some food into my face. So bear with me. Oops, knock the camera over while I'm at it. Sorry. There we go. Right, I'll leave you with a view of the big man. Damn it, why did you have to sub when I was just about to take a mouthful of food? Thank you very much, Troutbum. I really appreciate that. Just in case you missed it earlier, I am doing sub giveaways. So 25, 50 and 100 subs, I will be doing raffles of anyone who is subscribed. So you will be in the running to, for the 25, it's an Eldar Warlock, one of the old 93 metal ones. Obviously, I'll paint it in whatever you want style-wise. At 50, it's an Avatar of War Ogre Khan, which is already painted, and you can see pictures of that on my Instagram. And then for 100, we will be giving away a Carnosaur, which I have already started painting. However, if you want it in a different style, it's not that far along, so you can pick the color scheme for it, and I'll paint that up for you on stream. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to shovel some food in my face, and I will be back. Right, I am back. Now let's do this properly. Thank you so much for the sub. And I'm sorry I was so blasé about it just now. I really, really do appreciate it. Let's get some hype in chat. That's what hype emotes are for, right? Um, I don't know, do you actually stream Track 1? I'm still getting used to people in the community who do stream and don't stream. I'm guessing by your channel you don't, but if you ever start, let me know. And I will make sure you get some follows. Right, where am I? Sort my brain out. Hype Ghost! Woo. Well, as I say, keep me informed and let me know. So let's give this a quick look over and see what needs work. I'm actually reaching the point where I think this guy is approaching done. Oh, I know what I've missed. He has little decorations on his horns that I haven't touched. So let's do those. Silver? Silver or gold? What do we think? Silver or gold? We have 1 vote for gold. 2 votes for gold. 2 votes for gold. Guess it's going to be gold then. That means I have to mix a colour. Darn you people. Problem with mixing gold, it always goes a little bit flat. And I don't know where my actual burnished gold is. Let's see if I can add some liveliness to it. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. Although that's still a little touch on the red side, maybe a bit more yellow. 100,000 channel points. Oh, was that the commission job? Yeah, if you stick around long enough to get 100,000 channel points, I will absolutely paint something for you. With pleasure. Oh, I've just lost audio. Oh, it was just the end of a song. That ended quite abruptly. There we go. Still a little bit flat. It's really frustrating. I can't get it to maintain the metallic sheen. Let's see what this looks like. Let's move the palette out of the way. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to come back to this. I'll do this, but then I'll come back to it when I've got an actual gold. Because mixing just isn't working for me at the moment. This is too desaturated. And no matter what I do, I just can't get it to brighten up. That's way too thick. Damn. Dude, if you get up to 100,000 channel points, I will quite happily paint a Titan for you. More than willing. Just for the experience, because I'm never going to buy one for myself. Although saying that, I have considered converting one. Because converted Chaos Titans can look very, very pretty. I've seen some really nice examples out there. Although no Tzeentch ones. So if anyone has any good examples of a Tzeentch Chaos Renegade Titan thing, send it my way, because I'd be curious to see. I've seen some amazing Slaaneshi ones. And for those of you who don't have any idea what I'm talking about, Tzeentch is the Chaos God of Magic. This is one of his minions. Slaanesh is the God of Pleasure. He tends to be a bit of a pervert. So you can imagine what his Titans and minions look like. They all seem to have a lot of breasts for some reason, even the men. It's very booby. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad, it's just a little bit of a pale gold. Dude, you're watching a stream where I'm painting Magnus the Red. Did you think there was going to be no mentions of chaos? Really? You go off and worship your corpse emperor somewhere else. Hashtag Horus did nothing wrong. I'm not happy with that. It might look okay with a wash, but I think I'm probably going to need to come back and go over that with a proper gold. What I will do though is just highlight these beaks quickly. What did you do with your chaos? Did you just sell them to get some cash? They got thrown away. Ah, harsh. That just seems like a massive waste of money. Parents just don't know what they've got. I'm assuming it was your parents. Jeez. Could have at least stuck them on eBay and got you some cash for it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can consider that done for the evening. I've been streaming for 3 hours and I still haven't eaten all of my food. Thank you so much for spending time with me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you again, Troutbone, for the sub. And I hope you all have a fabulous evening. Now, before you all run off, I'm going to see if I can find somebody lovely to raid that we can introduce you to. So who's online at the moment? Or if anybody has any recommendations for who to raid, let me know. No, thank you, Troutbum. As I say, it's been a pleasure, and thanks again for the sub. It's really, really appreciated. Right, who do we have on? Let's go over and see Ryboog. We like Ryboog. Ryboog is nice. He is looking great, and we will have pictures up on Instagram very shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to take you over to Ryboog. Everyone, when we get in, lots of hype, lots of hellos, lots of noise, please. Thank you very much again, and good night.
Puddles of custard.